Just thinking about this case information cover sheet, yes, petition for dissolution, summons, confidential report, affidavit, financial declaration, yes, some sort of comment entry of Judge Ken Williams, right, child support, child support, child support, right. How does a judge know, yeah, that all the information is complete? hmm Let's say you served me and I did go through the information that was served on me. Yeah. All of the numbers did not make any sense because when I added everything up, yes, it looked to me like my wife was not able to support my sons. They were walking around naked because of the amount of money that was being spent. Now, as a father, it immediately caused me some concern because I'm one of these that does want to fact check, yes, every number that was supplied during the financial declaration, the child support worksheets. Yeah. In fact, I found it somewhat interesting. Yes. That though I hadn't worked for approximately, 2012, about 2 years, yeah, uh, I was assigned twice as much as annual income as my wife, and we both had the same bachelor's degree. Yeah, we both had a degree from. Well, I know she didn't work from the mid 1990s, but is it an obligation of the judge to make sure they read all of this? Yes. And is there a court hearing, or you just give it to the county clerk? She makes photocopies, right? And she says, "Well, just serve it on your husband." True. Then my job is to respond. Yes, within the 90 days, having completed the children in the middle class, right? And then I never get notice of court hearings again because I disagreed with all the numbers that she'd put in the actual child support worksheets. It seemed very discriminatory. Yes. $1,600 a month based upon an income that I had earned from the years 1999 to 2005. Yeah. Yeah, she motioned the court in 2012. It was 7 years later. Yeah. Now, what do you do when you know of all the fraud of the actual documentation that is served on an individual? Yes. After they get out of jail, yes, when they're finally able to read it. Now, this individual that calls herself the victim of domestic violence and child abuse, yes, the child support worksheets were fraudulent too. And the idea that a judge is going to read through it looks good to me, poop, and not have any idea of whether or not the actual forms were filled out according to the requirements of the pro se, or is it per se? Yes, litigant right now. Now, of course, I went through it. I gave you a response. Right. I didn't provide any financial information because I thought, yes, when she said, ooch, I made all the financial decisions during 10 years of marriage, that she was trying to stick me with $180,000. Yeah. Now, just so that we know, the financial declaration of the petitioner, yeah, he made all the financial decisions. Could you tell me why you should remove this dissolution of marriage because the victim is damaging the victim because I'm going to have her put in prison? Ouch. Now, since the court could not act within the 90 days, having the elapse of the 90 days, yeah, every sheriff's department, all police departments, yes, we can see that you had a certain amount of latitude of when you served the actual respondent. Yeah. You didn't serve me on the 25th. No, you didn't serve me on the 26th. No. You served me Sunday night on the 27th and you took me to jail. Now, what if you had waited until the 29th? Yes, when the court was actually open, the day that I was arraigned. Then I could have responded, that day or the next day, and I could have had the petitioner served. Yes. Now, I think law enforcement has some liability to protect the right of the respondent to be able to respond within the whole 90 days. Yes. And as much as you're going to disagree with me, I'm going to sue every county of the United States of America. County judges. How is it possible that Judge Ken Williams did or did not hear the case? Because I don't see any hearing here. Yes. In fact, I don't see motion hearing, motion for default. I don't see any actual hearing. Yes. until the 27th of August of 2012. Yeah. And you, as a court, did not have the authority of the law to have that hearing. Now, let's see. There was an urgency for you to issue the dissolution of marriage so that I would have to pay the $180,000 of unsecured debt. Yes. I would have to pay approximately $1,600 of child support a month. Yes. And my wife would get full custody of my sons because of the accusation of me being crazy, and you having issued a protection order. Yes. Where I was arrested for the accusation of violating it. Yes. So that you could reissue the protection order, Brent Based. Oh, Brent Based Brent Based ouch, Brent Based ouch, Brent Based It's almost as if the judge wanted me to have to pay all the debt. Wanted me to have to pay all the child support. Yes. And was willing to violate state law to accomplish that. Now, I'm asking you to remove it. Do you understand, Brent? Because this victim of domestic violence and child abuse, yes, she wasn't victimized. There was no domestic violence or child abuse. The court did not, Brent Basden, have the jurisdiction of the state of Guam. Yes. And the court does not have the availability of issuing any court orders without the authority of law. Pooch. That means you couldn't even docket the court hearing. Now, I know that the county clerk would say, well, we just have to put it on and we have to do it that day. Yes. As if there's something real urgent that you have to have the default dissolution of marriage as soon as you had approximated exactly when you could do that. The court will not act until, yes, after 90 days of the service of summons on the respondent when the respondent can respond. The first court business day. There should never be a police officer, yes, or a sheriff, yes, or any process server that ever serves the summons of dissolution of marriage except for on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right now. Now, this is another form of domestic violence, yes, where a vindictive wife wants to teach him a lesson. Now, this National Association of Counties, that strengthens America's counties, including the 40,000 county elected officials, the 3.6 million county employees. That was founded in 1935. It's, for every one of you that are an elected county official, yes, auditors in every county of the United States, I not only will sue you, the elected officials, yes, I will sue for the actual assets of every county. Now, give me the retirements of the last 40 years of county employees, yes, that are going to cover up all this fraud, yes, because they just can't. You know what, Sheriff? I will sue for every asset in every county of the United States of America that refuses to acknowledge the fraud, yes, of my rights being violated,